ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ, ನಮಗೇನು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ರಾಮಲಿಂಗಾರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Now at a function to mark the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and the death anniversary of Indira Gandhi at the KPCC office, Mallikarjun Kharge pulled up DK Shivakumar's proposal to revise the Shakti scheme, even as he was in the process of the party emulating the Karnataka guarantee scheme in Maharashtra. Listen into what Kharge said.
ಈಗ ನೀವು 5 ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿ? 5. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ 5 ನೋಡಿ ನಾನು 5 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿನಿ. ಈಗ ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ 5 ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ, ನೀ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಒಂದು ಕೈ ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಿ ಇವತ್ತು.
ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ.
ನೀವು ಓದ್ತಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಪೇಪರ್ಗು, ನಾವು ಪೇಪರ್ನಾಗ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಇರ್ಲಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಪೇಪರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಯ್ತು, ಕೇಳಿ. ಪರಿಷ್ಕರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಹೇಳ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಹೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ನಿಮಗೆ ಅನುಕರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದಾಗ ಯಾವ್ದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾ ಹೇಳಿದೆ 5, 6, 10, 20 ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬಜೆಟ್ ಇದೆ ಆ ಬಜೆಟ್ ತಕ್ಕಂತೆ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿಗಳು ಕೊಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿಗಳು ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದಿವಾಳಿ ಎದ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಬೊಟ್ಟಿ ಮಣ್ಣು ಹಾಕಕ್ಕೆ ಸಡಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಫೇಲ್ ಆದರೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಜನ್ರೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಏನೂ ಇಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನೀವು 5 ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿ? 5. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ 5 ನೋಡಿ ನಾನು 5 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿನಿ. ಈಗ ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ 5 ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ, ನೀ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಒಂದು ಕೈ ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಿ ಇವತ್ತು.
ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ.
ನೀವು ಓದ್ತಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಪೇಪರ್ಗು, ನಾವು ಪೇಪರ್ನಾಗ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಇರ್ಲಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಪೇಪರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಯ್ತು, ಕೇಳಿ. ಪರಿಷ್ಕರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಹೇಳ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಹೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ನಿಮಗೆ ಅನುಕರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದಾಗ ಯಾವ್ದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾ ಹೇಳಿದೆ 5, 6, 10, 20 ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬಜೆಟ್ ಇದೆ ಆ ಬಜೆಟ್ ತಕ್ಕಂತೆ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿಗಳು ಕೊಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿಗಳು ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದಿವಾಳಿ ಎದ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಬೊಟ್ಟಿ ಮಣ್ಣು ಹಾಕಕ್ಕೆ ಸಡಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಫೇಲ್ ಆದರೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಜನ್ರೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಏನೂ ಇಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ.
The point of the matter being that even as we see that there's friendly banter between Kharge and Shivakumar, everyone around is just smiling and laughing. The Chief Minister Siddaramaiah was quick to respond and said as follows.
ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲವು ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಐ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದೇರ್. ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಷ್ಕರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಥರದ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಥರದ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾವ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Close on heels came DK Shivakumar's turnaround as well, and this is what he said.
Karnataka guarantee model is a model for the entire country. The BJP is also adopting it and other parties are also adopting it. We are very proud that we could implement that, we could deliver that, and the people of Karnataka and the country is happy on our model.
The point of the matter, and apart from the fact that the Congress president put this Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka right back on track, it is the Maharashtra elections which has put this public sparring in focus. The opposition led by the BJP have for long criticized the guarantees offered by the Karnataka government, and with Maharashtra knocking at the door, it is only natural that they shall project how the 5 guarantees of the Karnataka government are a dud.
आज कांग्रेस पार्टी ने अपने अध्यक्ष के माध्यम से पहली बार स्वीकार किया है कि कांग्रेस के द्वारा जो होता रहा है वो जनता की आंखों में धूल झोंकने की बात रही है। क्या श्रीमान खरगे साहब माफी मांगेंगे? जो तेलंगाना में हो रहा है, जो कर्नाटका में हो रहा है, जो हिमाचल प्रदेश में हो रहा है, और जिस तरह से तथाकथित इंडिया गठबंधन के लोग घोषणा का अंबार लगाने की बात कर रहे हैं महाराष्ट्र में, झारखंड में, ये क्या है? वहां भी वही होगा, जनता की आंखों में धूल झोंकने की बात होगी। तो कृपया करके आने वाले चुनाव में वहां की जनता भी समझे इस बात को कि आगे से ये उनके अध्यक्ष का वक्तव्य है, और वो जब घोषणा करें तो पहले पूछें इस घोषणा का आधार क्या है, बताओ। द बीजेपी वुड लाइक टू आस्क ए वेरी क्लियर एंड कैटेगोरिकल क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम द एस्टीम्ड कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट श्री Mallikarjun Kharge, that if today you are realizing that don't make reckless announcements, only make those for which there is financial provision and also in the budget. And has he given the first gyan to his leader, Shri Rahul Gandhi?
All right, let's now go across to our guest Nizam Fauzdar, General Secretary and Spokesperson, KPCC, and Dr. Sudha R. Halkai, Spokesperson for the BJP in Karnataka. Very warm welcome to both of you. Happy Diwali. Dr. Halkai, if I can come to you, it seems that the BJP is hell-bent, to kind of see to it that the guarantees announced by the Karnataka government are not really appreciated, and I understand this considering the Maharashtra elections are knocking at the door and every party wants to do its best, and BJP, and it's politics, Sudha, so there is nothing wrong in love and war and politics. So I'm asking you that isn't there, like what Ravi Shankar Prasad ji also said, that if it has not worked in Karnataka, it may not work in Maharashtra. So they should come up front. Dr. Sudha Halkai. Please unmute, Sudha ji.
Yeah, a very good evening, Sudha, and I wish you a very happy and prosperous
Thank
Deepavali too. Thank you so much for your wishes. And I would like to say that, it has become a very pathetic condition in Karnataka, especially after the announcement of these guarantees, and because of which the Karnataka state Congress government has come up with a thumping victory. But today, I'll tell you, it has become a nightmare. This Congress government of Karnataka has become a nightmare to all the sectors of the people of Karnataka today. I told you there is a hike in the price for everything. The tariffs of the KB has been increased. It means everything is double and triple. And you can see the number of farmers who are committing suicide. More than 1,200 farmers are committing suicide. Now the Waqf property case has come up where, it has become a nightmare for the farmers, and taking the crimes against women and the corruption, it has reached to the sky. The scams, one after the other, the Muda scam, the Valmiki scams, where the bureaucrats are committing suicide. And why this is all? This is because the 25,000 crores of STSE funds have been misutilized for the guarantees. It is absolutely against the constitution, Sudha. So there is nothing is going on in an order in Karnataka, and absolutely everything is wrong what the Congress government is doing. And this is what happens if they come for the guarantees, not with the vision of helping the people, for the needy or for the poor, but just for the vote bank politics and just for the appeasement politics. If they're doing it, this is going to be the state in any part of the country if they're doing. And the benefits what is given by the central government, which is led by the Honorable Prime Minister Adaniya Narendra Modi ji, you can see that only one example I'll give. There are hundreds of examples. You can see the Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana, where one button is clicked and more than 11 crores of farmers are getting the benefit throughout India.
I get that.
No, this is what Rajiv Gandhi had told earlier. If 100 rupees is sent by the central government, it is only 10 or 15 rupees which is reaching to the beneficiaries. But here in today's India, where it is led by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, people, every sector of the people are benefited.
Yeah, but
and
do you think,
recently,
Rahul...
I'll tell you, this is more like a
Sudhaji, let
Deepavali
me,
bonanza when it
Sudhaji,
comes
let
to-
me just also get in a question, ma'am. I'm saying Rahul Gandhi in Bengaluru had announced, these guarantees, like Shivakumar just said in Kannada. I mean, you understand Kannada.
Yeah. I'm
And
from
then it is
Karnataka, yeah.
also, and also now Kharge ji has said that, Rahul Gandhi has said that the same will be repeated in Maharashtra. I just want a quick answer. Do you feel that in Maharashtra also they are going to go with the guarantees with one thing in mind, and that is vote bank politics and not really the benefit of the people, ma'am?
Absolutely, Sudha. Absolutely. This is what they have done after
All
the
right.
Congress government Karnataka elections. They have done with the other 3 states also. And this is what they're going to do for the Maharashtra election also, because they think that this is one thing where they can fool the people of people anywhere, any state, because you can see 2,000 for the women, they told, then the free bus rides, they told they're going to give the job vacancies. None of it is filled. I'll tell you, Sudha, not even
I'm sorry, I have to go to
today
Nizam.
with the mud today.
Yeah, I will come back to
Forget
you,
about
Sudha.
1 kilometer of road which they have done.
Yeah.
Absolutely, the Karnataka government, Karnataka is
All right.
derailed today.
Nizam, let me get you on the screen. Nizam, I just want to ask you one thing. What is this public kind of display? I know that we talk about discipline in the BJP, but today it happened in front of everyone. Although there is laughter and banter, after all, Kharge ji is an elder. Everyone has to be very respectful. But I don't understand. It seems like DKS spoke out of turn, Nizam. Because why should he then take it back?
No, see, what Mr. DK Shivakumar said was that let's have an assessment of the guarantees that has been passed on to the beneficiaries of this state. So he didn't say that we'll have to look into whether continuing the guarantees or not. But when a AICC president says it's his observation, it is an absolute clarity what the Congress party needs to do and what the Congress party will do. But when Sudha is saying that, because of these 5 guarantees, the Karnataka has come into a absolute shambles, but she has to reflect herself and see what has happened to the entire country. Now, when I say that, right, people may say oppose it, saying that, oh, he is opposing it. But the quick question to the BJP is that what has happened to the GDP of this country? What has happened to the devolution of the state tax contribution that has to come to Karnataka? What has happened to that? Why is the central government not passing on the funds to the state government?
Yeah,
to run
sure.
its
That's another
normal budget?
debate. I want to understand.
Let me come to it.
No, because I want to stick to the show. No, Nizam, I have very tight time. I have to take a break now. I am just asking you, first DKS says we are revising it. Women have written me mails. They have gone to social media platforms. First of all, I don't think, frankly, that a deputy chief minister is going to go and look at all the mails. Maybe secretary did that. He says we are revising it. You want to pay for their bus ticket? Pay. That's what we are looking at it. Don't you think it's one of the most bizarre ideas anyone can come up with?
No, why do you think it's bizarre? If Sudha wants to travel in the bus and she says, I don't want to take a free ride and I want to pay for the ticket, you're most welcome to do. And I think that's where a lot of women may have written to him saying that, we are capable, we have enough financial resources with us.
No, it's not that.
We would want to pay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's the way you should look at it.
No.
So why should
people
somebody
like
look
me,
everything
people
in a
like me
negative-
do not go by buses. We are all privileged. I went in bus
I
around 20
understand
years
you're
ago.
very privileged.
Let's not, I am sure you are also. I am not going to, kind of hide behind this, oh, I'm so humble. Look, DK Shivakumar made a mistake. Therefore, Mallikarjun Kharge in front of everyone said, you don't read the newspapers, you should read the newspapers. Meanwhile, let me take a break. After the break, we will keep this debate going, coming back in a moment.
For the very first time in our investigation, we unmasked the killer of Ravindra Matre.
In 5G, we have to stand with the world, and in 6G, we have to lead the world.
Winning a Grammy was an absolutely surreal experience.
Hello. If your money is fraudulently taken by somebody or if cyber crime takes place with you, क्या हम कृष्णा दास गुप्ता जी से बात कर रहे हैं? And you report it to the bank within 3 days of the crime, the bank is liable to pay you 100%. This is clear-cut guidelines. मैं डिपार्टमेंट से बात कर रहा हूँ. If you report it within 7 days, the bank is liable to pay you 50%. And if you report it 21 days, I think 25% or something. और हमने ये देखा है कि आपके आधार कार्ड से एक सिम रजिस्टर्ड हुआ है यहाँ.
If the person gives information within the span of 3 to 4 hours, 100% recovery can be done. I personally have seen a lot of cases where 100% recovery has been done.
आपका सिम यूज हुआ है, इलीगल एक्टिविटीज हुई हैं उस सिम से. Oh my God. Madam, you are also involved in the Naresh Goyal money laundering case.
All right, that's our main debate. Kharge wraps DKS over Shakti scheme. We're asking that, yes, there was a public kind of a display of, call it whatever you may, upbraiding as it were. But behind this, let's not forget, the Maharashtra elections looms large. And whatever is said in Karnataka will have an impact on Maharashtra. Nizam Fauzdar, General Secretary, spokesperson for the KPCC, is with us. So is Dr. Sudha R. Halkai, who's spokesperson for the BJP from Karnataka. Dr. Sudha, let me come to you. Dr. Sudha, one of the reasons that you won in Madhya Pradesh, and I heard, former Chief Minister also speaking about it, is to say that it was the Ladli scheme. Mr. Chauhan said very clearly that it was the Ladli scheme which worked. Women were very, very impressed with what we could do with them. How is it that a women-centric program in one state is good for you, but when it comes to your own state, where your own sisters, Kannadiga sisters, are availing of bus service, is all wrong?
Sudha, very valid question you have asked, and I would like to answer for that. See, Sudha, we have to compare how Karnataka government is functioning, and we have to compare how Madhya Pradesh government is functioning. We are not against the guarantees. It is the inefficiency of the Karnataka government in Karnataka today that they are not able to execute the guarantees to the best to the people of Karnataka. The thing is, when they came up with the free charges for the buses, they reduced the number of the buses. There were so many accidents which have taken place. There was actually so many accidents because of which, they were the limbs of the people were cut off, and so many untoward tragedies have taken place. That is not the way how they have to handle the situation. And when it comes to Madhya Pradesh, I told when the schemes to the women are given, it has to reach to them. I would be more happy as a woman if maximum benefits are given for the empowerment of the woman. But here they are not doing so. They're giving 2,000 cash to the woman, and that too it is not given from past 4-5 months. It was not given, and the bus drivers were not given the salaries for this. The drivers of the ambulance were not paid. The Paura Karmikas, they were not paid the salaries. So when the teachers were not paid the salaries, this is not the way the Karnataka, any government has to handle the situation. You give the beneficiaries, we are not against it, but you give it in such a way that the development of the state is not hampered, that the law and order of the state is not hampered, and the state should not derail, and it should not be absolutely vote bank politics or appeasement politics, that you can go to any extent to do that.
But then the guarantees are doing very well in Telangana also, ma'am. It's a big success story in Telangana.
What about Himachal Pradesh?
Yeah, sure, Himachal. But do you think in
Pradesh they're putting the taxes on the toilets? You tell me, is it right?
Well, that is apparently it's not. It's not.
And 1 minute, I'll just put something. Immediately within a month after the Congress government in Karnataka was formed, they increased the tariff for the current bill. That is, it was something 0.34 paisa. They came up to more than 1 rupees per unit. Why did they do so? Today, where the
that's why let's get answers.
Come 2,000 or 3,000. It is coming 9,000 to 8,000. 3 times more it is coming. Okay. How can they justify that? Now
all right. Let's get answers. No, from Nizam Fauzdar. Let's get answers from Nizam Fauzdar. Nizam, why don't you take all the questions fielded by Dr. Halkai? But then before that, I want to ask you one question. That DKS said we will revise this thing, and then his denial comes. Siddaramaiah goes to town and saying, no change will happen. First of all, if you had not made that mistake, you don't have to clarify. No, Nizam Fauzdar. I think DKS jumped the gun. He jumped the gun. And at a time when you have to have all the ammunition in your hands to face the Maharashtra elections, sir.
First of all, DK Shivakumar is one of the strongest leaders, very pragmatic leader, one of the best troubleshooters, which BJP fears of. And he is one man who has taken the bull by the horn. And that means the BJP has always been defeated whenever the challenge has been taken by the KPCC President DK Shivakumar. So he said let's review it. He never said let's change it. He only said that reviewing is basically assessment. What Mr. Siddaramaiah also says is absolutely correct, that there will be no change in terms of giving the guarantee benefits to the people of the Karnataka. People who are not willing to take, they are most welcome to withdraw from that benefit. But at the same time, Mr. Kharge also said that let's celebrate each other's success, and let's not celebrate, let's not make it an issue that is going to cause leadership issues. Everything is correct in its own way. But when it comes to Mr. DK Shivakumar, let me tell you, he is one of the most pragmatic leaders that we can have in Karnataka's political history. So let me come back to Mr. Doctor.
He's a human being, no. He may be a great leader. He's a human being, you and I. He made a mistake, no.
I think we are making interpretation mistakes. The review is basically not repealing or changing the whole the scheme. Reviewing is an assessment. So let's not go too deep into one word and dissect it. But let me come back to the guarantee schemes that she's talking about. 2023 March, Bombay Sarkara passes the cabinet, decision to raise the bill of the electricity. And it was raised then, and it was supposed to get implemented just before our party came into power. And it happened now. They're saying that rise in the power has basically caused a lot of hue and cry among the people who are using power within Karnataka. Miss Sudha doesn't even know that nearly 1 crore plus families in Karnataka are getting zero bill. It only means highly privileged people in Karnataka are paying the required amount that the bill is coming.
Okay, so Nizam,
there is no inflation.
Right.
There is no inflation for
Nizam,
the poor.
Yeah, okay, Nizam, instead of
middle class people.
I don't know. Let me ask you a connected question, Nizam Fauzdar. Like your AICC President Mallikarjun Kharge ji said, we will go to Maharashtra and we will do the guarantees according to the budget, what the budgets they have, according to the financial constraints. Any plans to go and announce it soon? Maybe Mr. Rahul Gandhi will make a visit?
Yes, we have the guarantees planned for Maharashtra. It will be very soon. It will be announced, and it will be announced in a way that the BJP will again cry and say that we are concerned. We don't know what, how, when. But the BJP have to still answer that question. They have made the entire country labharti. 80 crore people within this country are begging for 5 kgs of rice that Mr. Modi says that मैं दे रहा हूँ अपने घर से. ये बात का जो इन्होंने 80 करोड़ लोगों को इतना गरीब बना दिया है, उसका जवाब ये कब देंगे? डॉक्टर जी से पूछिएगा. Why don't we ask that question to her?
Yeah, we will ask
you that. One more question. See, our country is a socialist country. We look after each other. We look after the poor. We look after the middle class. We look after every person who is struggling and suffering.
All right.
So when it comes to giving those benefits, why does the BJP?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Yeah, Dr. Halkai.
A monster in
yeah.
its
So
thinking.
Yeah, it worked in Karnataka. Your government was, ousted. It worked in Telangana, and now I think they are going full hog in Maharashtra. Are you against the guarantees as a principle, Dr. Halkai?
Sudha, we are against the guarantees when it comes to, it is because of vote bank politics, because of appeasement politics, and it is not because of the
Then
needs
your
and
Labharti
desires of the
schemes,
poor
ma'am,
people.
your
I'm very much
Labharti
clear with
schemes
that
are also
perspective. One thing.
Ujjwala. I mean, I can also talk about a lot of Labharti schemes that you have. I mean, I don't have it right now, but then the thing is that one scheme
Sudha,
after
one
the
minute,
other.
one minute, one minute. I'll tell you. There was Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana, as I told. Simultaneously, when Bommaiji was there and Yediyurappaji was there, when double engine Sarkar was there, 4,000 amount was given to all the farmers, along with the 6,000 amount from the central government. And that is cancelled by the Congress government when it came into power. Why did they cancel that 4,000 amount from Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana, which was given by the state government? You let them answer first. Second thing is, now all the senior citizens above 70 years, irrespective of BPL card holders or APL card holders, Ayushman Yojana is given to all the senior citizens of our country. And we have given it, like, it is just not like what he tells, Mr. DK Shivakumar is one of the greatest leaders. Yes, he is great when it comes to planning. He is great when it comes to scripting. He is great when it comes to, talks, big talks, brand Bengaluru. Brand Bengaluru has become a bad Bengaluru today. And Mr. DK Shivakumar, where is he? Where is Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge? Where is Mr. Priyank Kharge? Where is Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who talks about the constitution? Where is he? Why is he tight-lipped when it comes to the transfer of the 25,000?
So you are not against the guarantees.
Funds to the
You are not
guarantees.
against
And
the.
what about Valmiki Nigam? What about Muda scam?
But you
What
are
about
not
the
against
5,000
Shakti,
crores
right?
of labor
You
scam
think
which is done over
Dr.
here,
Halkai,
why are they not answerable for that?
Fine. You think that Shakti scheme is good for the women, doctor? You think it's very good for.
Shakti scheme, I told you, even it was in our manifesto that we are going to give free rights to the girls who are going to the colleges and the working women. Here, irrespective of whosoever it is, they made it free to everybody. How is it going to work? You tell me, Sudha. Do they have any sense?
Actually endorsing what DK Shivakumar said,
there in the state, what
Dr.
the consequences
Halkai,
people are going to take place?
You are actually sounding like, I'm sorry, because this is exactly what DKS said. He said, everyone, not people who are slightly rich. That's what you're saying, everyone and everyone. A scheme is a scheme which I think should be democratically distributed amongst everyone. Nizam, go on and then I close this debate.
Sudha, it is, I don't know how to respond to Dr. Sudha. she doesn't know what she's saying. The question, she's saying the schemes are right, Labharti is good. So she opposes the schemes of the Congress party. So they are confused. They want to make halla gulla about what. He also acknowledges that, the DK Shivakumar is one of the biggest and the greatest leaders. And the problem is that the problem is the BJP loves our leadership.
Come on,
At the
that's
same time.
not right, because she said it sarcastically. Come on, let's all have a bit of sarcasm there.
I would not say that.
Sarcasm. Anyway, I have to. You both are my guest in the second story also. So I think you will please stay, because we are talking about the next story also coming from Karnataka. Waqf row takes a violent turn in Karnataka. 32 people arrested for stone pelting in Haveri. That's coming up.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
Cooking is an act of love. The first act of love you receive from our mothers in the families.
Modern Indian food is all about contemporary and innovative approach to traditional Indian cooking.
Representation it's also important,
I want to wear this white coat every day and then be a chef.
There are stories. If the name a whiskey is English, then there is a whole story behind that.
Cooking food is like a therapy, and eating one is like a pleasure I can give it to myself. With Lounge Nights, I'm on a journey to celebrate and recognize the best food and nightlife establishments in various cities across India.
Radical presents Lounge Nights. Every Saturday and Sunday, only on News9 Live.
All right, this is our second story, and we are focusing on Karnataka yet again, the violence over Waqf. So what is really the story? For the past few weeks, the ruling Congress and BJP in Karnataka have been locking horns over the allegations of notices being served to farmers by the Waqf board alleging encroachment. While the issue was first raised in Vijaypura, the BJP has alleged that farmers from Kalaburgi, Bidar and Shivakumar too have raised similar concerns. The Waqf row took a violent turn in Karnataka's Haveri district, with stone pelting on residences of Muslim leaders by those fearing the taking over of their property by the Waqf board. According to the police, a rumor that properties around the village temple had been listed as Waqf properties and would soon be acquired was the reason for the incident, and then groups began attacking each other. This left at least 5 people injured on Wednesday night. A mob pelted stones at local leader Muhammad Rafi and damaged his bike. Many other leaders belonging to minority communities were also being targeted. The police have identified and detained those who indulged in stone pelting. Police have detained actually 32 people in connection with the incident and also taken additional security measures to ensure that no untoward incident takes place.
And although there is no complaint from anybody, police suo moto, they have registered the cases and they have arrested some 20 odd people. Now everything is peaceful. Senior officers are also there, SP and others. They are watching the development. Any development will definitely, take action.
The BJP has meanwhile attacked the Karnataka government and said that the government is anti-farmer as well as anti-development.
That they should issue notices to the farmers saying that they are all Waqf property and entering the name of the works in the panis. We are raising the issue of in the interest of the farmers, and this government is totally a failure government. It is anti-Hindu, anti-farmers and anti-development. And now Siddaramaiah is mentioning about all this, and we only would like to say that we are, as it is, we are winning the elections because Siddaramaiah has failed in his 1.5 year tenure and people are fed up of this Taghlaq government. अगर आज हम फार्मर्स के बारे में ये इशू अगर नहीं उठाते तो सिद्धरामैया गवर्नमेंट ये पूरे जो फार्मर्स का प्रॉपर्टी है वो वक्फ प्रॉपर्टी बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, बना देंगे, उसलिए हम ये आवाज उठा रहे हैं.
Meanwhile, Karnataka Minister for Minorities Zamir Ahmad Khan said that if notices were even mistakenly issued for farmers' land, they would be withdrawn promptly.
ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಇವತ್ತಿಂದ ಏನು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ನ ಕಾಲದಿಂದ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂದೆಯಿಂದಾನೆ ವಫ್ ಆಸ್ತಿಗೆ ನೋಟಿಸನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂಚೆಯಿಂದ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಬಿಜೆಪಿದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ನಾನು, ನೂರಾರಿಲ್ಲ ಸಾವಿರಾರು ನೋಟಿಸ್ಗಳು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೈತರ ಜಾಗ ಮನೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿನೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಂಗೇನಾರು ನೋಟಿಸ್ ರೈತರ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ವಫ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಹಿಂಪಡಿತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಸಚಿವನಾಗಿ ವಫ್ ಸಚಿವನಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಹಂಗೇನ ರೈತರ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅದು ಹಿಂಪಡಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು.
Is the Waqf issue a case of fear-mongering, which the ruling government is unable to control? Let's debate. Nizam Faujdar, General Secretary, spokesperson KPCC, is with us, and Dr. Sudha Halkai, spokesperson for the BJP in Karnataka. Dr. Sudha Halkai, they are saying that, there was slight error in a documentation. They say this is fear-mongering. It's rumor-mongering. The Chief Minister has said that no notices, even you heard what Zamir said just now, that, there are no notices. What is the real issue, Dr. Halkai?
Sudha, I'll tell you, I'll get back to you to the roots, what it is. It is absolutely that the Congress government, take it from Jawaharlal Nehru to the Rahul Gandhi, they are Hindu phobia. And they're very much clear on that, and all their action speaks about it. Now tell me, all of a sudden, Zamir Ahmed, he told that on behalf of, like, when the Mr. Sidramaya has advised him that all these notices has to be given. On his advice, he has told all the officers. Now they say that the Tahsildars are responsible, and it is a mistake of the Tahsildars. It has become a habit for them, habitual this one for them to blame the officers. In the Muda scheme, they blame the officers over there. In the Valmiki Nigam, they blame the officers in such a way that the Mr. Chandrasekhar, an officer, committed suicide. And now here also, when they see that there is the strong opposition, which is done by the BJP. Here too, I'll tell you, so that we are going to fight tooth and nail, and we are going to protect the interest of the farmers, what may come, and especially, and the Hindus. Now the people who are arrested in Haveri, all are Hindus. Tell me why the Muslims are not arrested? Why appeasement politics for this one community? And they're ready to do anything for this. The farmers, the Annadatas today, they have a nightmare. They're not able to sleep today.
Right,
And they
but
didn't
then
celebrate
Muslims' homes...
They didn't celebrate the Deepavali.
Yeah,
They
which
didn't
is
celebrate
very
the
sad.
Deepavali this time.
Very sad. But then a Muslim called Mohammed Rafi's house was damaged. There is stone pelting. We have visuals of that. So you see, ultimately you are right. They are our Annadatas and they are poor people. And if anyone is insecure, then what's the point? Nizam Faujdar, I just think this is complete mismanagement, I say. Your government is ruling. I do not know why, even if it was fear mongering, let's assume. It was rumor mongering. Your government has been unable to control it. Look at those visuals there. You know, Haveri, what has happened? I mean, a man called Mr. Mohammed Rafi, his house was, stone was pelted on him, his bike was destroyed. Is this the way you control? Because you know this is just a spark. And any time it will become a huge fire, Nizam Faujdar.
Sudha, I condemn any kind of violence. And when Dr. Sudha initiates her conversation and the debate by saying that all the leaders, starting from Nehru till Rahul Gandhi, are Hindu phobia, she has to correct herself. They have started behaving as if anybody who speaks in the lines of the constitution or in the lines of the law, they become anti-Hindu just because the one party may be Hindu, one party may be the Muslim. So this whole narrative that any decision taken by the government is anti-Hindu, Hindu phobic. I think this kind of a narrative is basically done for this Maharashtra election. There's nothing about it. If there is a notice doesn't mean that they are going to be evicted today and tomorrow thrown out of those lands.
Notice. Why give them a notice?
No, listen. There may be one party, one plaintiff who wants a clarification. They have initiated a proceeding through a letter or through an application as a process of tapal. They would have done it, and if the notice is wrong, it will die its natural death, or it will be
natural death. But
so
then why did the riots happen? Why did the riots happen?
This is where the BJP plays foul. They do these riots. They do this stone pelting. They make sure things go out of the hand and then say, look, the Congress government is not ruling properly. The law and order is gone out of control. They are incompetent. This is pure BJP politics. They have nothing to do with it. So they want to bring this whole Waqf issue as a Muslim issue. The Waqf issue is a very separate thing that we need to discuss. And what happens is the BJP is always into this fear mongering. Those people were beaten down. What about your niti of, the bulldozer Raj that you are running in UP and every other state that you are
now
ruling?
We've gone to
You are
Uttar
bulldozing
Pradesh. Very
everybody.
good. Dr.
Yeah,
Halkai on the
you
screen.
have to.
No,
Halkai
let's stick to
Sudha,
Nizam. We can't go on a Bharat Darshan, yaar. Please, let's stick to this. Dr. Halkai, he says if there is a mistake, we shall rectify. I mean, everyone has spoken about it. Chief Minister, Minister for Minorities, several other people have said that if there is a mistake, we'll rectify it. But the point of the matter is that the BJP says it spread like an epidemic. I mean, it's not just there, it's there in many other districts. What proof do you have, Dr. Halkai?
Exactly, Sudha. We have the proof. I come from Kalyana, Karnataka. I am from Kalaburgi. Okay. The farmers in Kalyana, Karnataka, the Kalaburgi, the farmers in Yadgir, they also have received the notices. And the notice is such that, Sudha, if you and me get a notice on our property one day that in column 11, it is, that the property belongs to the Waqf. How do we feel, you tell me? All of a sudden, the farmers get this, and it according to the amendments, what these people, the UPA government has made in the earlier years, that is in 1974 and 2013, everybody are suffering. it becomes a responsibility of the people for whom the notice is served that we have to prove the property belongs to us. Why don't they prove that the property belongs to Waqf? And in Tiruchinapalli, when the grama, the whole village, they told it belongs to the Waqf, including the temples. And when the clarification was asked, the Waqf board tells that, if 1500 years back, it belonged to them. It seems. Did Islam arise during 1500 years back, you tell me? What nonsense these people speak. And during the Ganapati festival, there was
Sudha, is it about Sudha? Let's get a clarification. Is it about Hindu Muslim or is it about farmers? What's your focus on? The right
we are at the interest of protecting the farmers. There is no question about it, Sudha. When it comes to the farmers, we are very much clear, and I told you earlier also, we are going to fight tooth and nail for that. There is no second question regarding that. And they have made the life of farmers hell, Sudha, over here. You don't know. I told more than 1,500 farmers have committed suicide in 1 year. You tell me, what justification did any of the leaders go and visit this farmer's house?
Nizam, even if you sent one notice, you see the kind of panic it has created amongst farmers. And these farmers are not people who can go up to the court or, even question a singular notice. All I'm saying is, don't you think that somewhere your communication to the farmers was really poor, Nizam Fauzdar?
No, I absolutely do not agree. If you look at the kind of argument Dr. Sudha is having, is that, does Islam existed 1,500 years? What are you speaking about? What is that you're trying to prove? Now, are you saying, now let me come chronologically to what Mr. Dr. Sudha is saying. Who bought Inam Abolition Act? Who bought the Land Sealing Act? Who bought the tiller will gain the land? Kisne ye laws banaye? Who made these laws? How did we distribute the land to the normal people across the length and breadth of the country by these simple 3 acts? People who had thousands of acres, just because people who were tilling that land, they were given that land. They were granted that land. In that Waqf properties also were there, which were given back to the farmers who were tilling it. And she's saying, she's blaming a religion for the kind of politics, dirty politics that the BJP is playing. Now somebody should ask, when did the Hindu? No, listen. Sudha,
she said,
we need to make this thing clear.
No,
when did Christianity come into this world? When did Hinduism come into this world?
She said that our party supports farmers. I can't shout as much as, sorry, but she did say that we support the farmers first.
Of their mindset.
No, but they said they support the farmers, Nizam, and this is about the farmers.
No, they don't support the farmer. If they were supporting the farmer, they would have not spiked those roads on the Delhi highway and said, if you walk into those spikes, you will die. And they pushed all the farmers. Who did the water guns on the farmers? 750 farmers died on the roads of the Delhi and Haryana. Who is responsible of that?
Again, you've gone on Bharat Brahman. This is the problem. You see, therefore, I always fall short of time because we are never sticking.
BJP is selective about their Hindu-Muslim agenda. Believe me, they are anti-India,
and you should
anti-nationalist, they're anti.
No, not at all. And I think you are overreacting now. They are all they are saying is that the farmers' interest should be protected.
They are only
all right, I've completely run out of time. Thank you so much, Nizam Fauzdar, and also Dr. Sudha Halkai. Thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. Thank you. The next story which is coming up, Telangana government bans use of raw eggs paste mayonnaise after complaints of food poisoning surfaces. That's the story that we are focusing on. Telangana bans mayonnaise amid food poisoning complaints. So what's the story? The Telangana government on Wednesday banned raw egg-based mayonnaise due to food safety concerns following several recent cases of food poisoning linked to mayonnaise in the state. Telangana Commissioner of Food Safety tweeted from its official X handle that the prohibition applies to mayonnaise being prepared by FBOs for commercial use using raw eggs without any pasteurization. It also clarified that the ban does not apply to mayonnaise which is produced from pasteurized eggs with due safety measures to prevent contamination and having valid FSSAI certification. The order was issued a day after a 31-year-old woman died and 15 others fell ill after eating momos with mayonnaise in Hyderabad. Now, a few days back, cases of food poisoning were reported at shawarma outlets in the city, after which health officials conducted raids on shawarma outlets. Telangana Food Safety Commissioner ordered prohibition of the production, storage, sale of mayonnaise prepared from raw eggs for a year with immediate effect starting Wednesday. The government notification also stated that the public would be alerted to potential health risks associated with food products whenever there is reasonable cause for concern. Authorities are encouraging alternative mayonnaise preparations to improve food hygiene and also safeguard public health, which is of utmost importance. And as promised, I leave you with some of the other top stories from the south of India. Thank you for watching. Namaskara.
This is News9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
Hello. If your money is fraudulently taken by somebody or if cyber crime takes place with you,
क्या हम कृष्णा दास गुप्ता जी से बात कर रहे हैं?
and you report it to the bank within 3 days of the crime, the bank is liable to pay you 100%. This is clear-cut guidelines.
मैं डिपार्टमेंट से बात कर रहा हूँ.
If you report it within 7 days, the bank is liable to pay you 50%. And if you report it in 21 days, I think 25% or something.
और हमने ये देखा है कि आपके आधार कार्ड से एक सिम रजिस्टर्ड हुआ है यहाँ.
If the person gives information within the span of 3 to 4 hours, 100% recovery can be done. I personally have seen a lot of cases where 100% recovery has been done.
आपका सिम यूज हुआ है, इलीगल एक्टिविटीज हुई हैं उस सिम से. Oh my God, मैडम, you are also involved in the नरेश गोयल money laundering case.
India is one of the world's largest importers of fossil fuels. But did you know that the country has risen as Europe's top supplier of refined fuel, surpassing even Saudi Arabia? So what happened? What geopolitical, economic and market factors led to this? And how did India become Europe's top supplier of refined fuel? News9 Plus decodes. To put it simply, this is because of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. When Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, Europe was quick to impose sanctions on Russian crude oil. Before the conflict, Russia was Europe's go-to source for refined fuels. However, with restrictions in place, Europe had to turn elsewhere to meet its diesel and jet fuel demands. Enter India, A major crude oil importer and refining hub, India redirected its refined products to Europe. Since then, India's fuel exports to Europe have surged, recently crossing 360,000 barrels per day, a volume that positions it at the top, even ahead of Saudi Arabia. But where is India getting all this crude oil? In a single word, Russia. A major reason for this are the steep discounts on Russian crude oil due to Western sanctions. Since 2022, Russian crude has been flowing into India at reduced prices, allowing Indian refiners to keep costs low and boost output. With a higher processing volume of this cheap crude, India is able to export competitively priced refined products to Europe. Now, this arrangement seems to work for everyone. Europe is getting its energy security, Russia gets its oil revenues through indirect channels, and India rises in global energy markets. But how exactly has India benefited from this? This scenario has generated significant economic gains for India. Indian refiners, including major private players like Reliance Industries, have expanded their operations to meet the increased European demand. This surge in exports has bolstered foreign exchange reserves, improved India's trade balance, and provided new revenue streams. Also, Indian refiners have gained a competitive edge over European refineries, which face higher crude oil costs due to limited access to discounted Russian oil. So what lies ahead? For now, things seem to be working to India's advantage. But looking ahead, India's role as Europe's primary refined fuel supplier may be influenced by a range of factors, including the stability of global oil prices, EU policy shifts, and potential changes in Russian export strategies. Should Europe continue to rely on India, India's fuel exports will likely remain strong. However, political developments like renewed Western pressure on countries purchasing Russian crude oil or stricter regulations on indirect Russian oil imports could complicate these dynamics.
This is News9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
Do you remember how Hillary Clinton lost to Republican candidate Donald Trump in 2016 American presidential polls? After leading for most of the campaign, Hillary fell behind in the final stretch. What do you think was the reason for the upset? Well, personal popularity alone is not the only metric that helps a candidate become America's president. To understand this, we need to understand how the Electoral College system works. US elections 2024. What is the Electoral College system of voting? News9 Plus decodes. On the 5th of November, most voters will cast their vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. Still, their personal popularity may not eventually decide who wins. The candidate who emerges triumphant in the Electoral College will make it to the White House. For those not clued in, the Electoral College is a process in which electors or representatives from each state cast their vote and determine who will be the president. Each state is given a number of electors based on roughly on its size of population as well as their representation in the Congress. When a voter votes for their preferred candidate, their vote goes to a local representative of the party. This representative is known as an elector. This elector, in turn, votes for the presidential candidate. There are 538 Electoral College votes in total. A candidate needs to win 270 or more votes to win. How is the system different from India's elections? Starting with a simple difference, US holds its election on a specific day every term. Elections are conducted on the first Tuesday of November. In India, elections are held in multiple phases and dates are decided by the Election Commission of India. In India, the political party who wins the most votes nationally forms the government. The party's representative becomes the Prime Minister. The US, on the other hand, elects its president. Another difference is that the US holds simultaneous elections for its president, members of the Senate, House of Representatives, state senator, etc. India is still contemplating about the feasibility and the mechanics of holding simultaneous elections. In the United States, most of the times, a projected winner is announced on election night in November. But the actual electoral college vote takes place in mid-December when the electors meet in their states.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
This is News9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
For the very first time in our investigation, we unmasked the killer of Ravindra Matre.
In 5G, we have to stand with the world, and in 6G, we have to lead the world.
Winning a Grammy was an absolutely surreal experience.
Hello.
If your money is fraudulently taken by somebody or if a cyber scam takes place with you,
क्या हम कृष्णा दास गुप्ता जी से बात कर रहे हैं?
and you report it to the bank within 3 days of the crime, the bank is liable to pay you 100%. This is clear-cut guidelines.
मैं डिपार्टमेंट से बात कर रहा हूँ.
If you report it within 7 days, the bank is liable to pay you 50%. And if you report it in 21 days, I think 25% or something.
और हमने ये देखा है कि आपके आधार कार्ड से एक सिम रजिस्टर्ड हुआ है यहाँ.
If the person gives information within the span of 3 to 4 hours, 100% recovery can be done. I personally have seen a lot of cases where 100% recovery has been done.
आपका सिम यूज हुआ है, इलीगल एक्टिविटीज हुई हैं उस सिम से. ओह माय गॉड, मैडम यू आर ऑल्सो इन्वॉल्व्ड इन द नरेश गोयल मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग केस.
This is News9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
Hello everybody, warm welcome. Thanks for tuning into News 9. I'm Kabir Naqvi. You're watching top stories from our studios here in the National Capital Region. Without further ado, the top headlines we're tracking for you. India and China resume patrolling in Demchok as per the army sources. Patrolling in Dipsang is expected to begin in a day or two. Economist Vivek Debroy, chairman of the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council, passed away at AIIMS in the national capital this morning. He was 69 years old. Debroy had been the EAC chairman since September 2017 and was awarded the Padma Shri in 2015. Donald Trump vows to protect Hindu Americans and slams the anti-minority violence in Bangladesh. A Pennsylvania judge delays a lawsuit seeking to stop Elon Musk's $1 million voter giveaway before the November 5th election. A massive blaze engulfed this afternoon a mosque, a residential houses that were nearby in the Khanabal area of South Kashmir's Anantnag districts. Officers have been told that fire erupted from one of the residential houses in the afternoon and engulfed the other in the vicinity. Following a months-long probe, authorities have now arrested a suspect identified as Abhijit Kingla, an Indian resident of Ontario in Canada, all related to the shooting that took place outside Punjabi singer AP Dhillon's residence back in September. Three more elephants die in MP's Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve after consuming toxic substance, taking the toll to 10 elephants within a week's time. Bomb blast in southwestern Pakistan. At least 7 people have been killed, including 5 school students. And the country of Spain in mourning as the death toll in the devastating floods has now crossed the 200 mark, 205 as per the latest figures, almost all of them in eastern Valencia. Well, just about 4 days left. This is the final stretch vis-a-vis that US presidential race, which is right now slated on a knife's edge. Former President Donald Trump, he used a campaign event in the state of Arizona on Thursday to attack his political opponents with a range of personal insults and said, and I quote, "The country can only take so much." During the so-called fireside chat with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson, Trump called President Joe Biden, quote-unquote, stupid, and Vice President and Democratic nominee Kamala Harris, quote-unquote, as dumb as a rock. He also described his 2016 presidential opponent, Hillary Clinton, as a, quote-unquote, horrible scoundrel. And Donald Trump said that he believed great cost cutter, tech billionaire Elon Musk, could save the government $2 trillion, but did not elaborate on how Musk was going to do the same. Elon Musk has endorsed Donald Trump and appeared at several campaign events as well. Listen in to what Donald Trump had to say in terms of his latest barbs and insults at the Democratic nominee and team.
Fighting against crooked Hillary Clinton, who's a smart woman, much smarter than Kamala, but doesn't lie as much. Hillary was a liar, a horrible scoundrel. But this one lies so much, and she's a low IQ individual. She doesn't even know she's lying, I'm telling you. This is not what you want for your president. That has nothing to do with me. This is not what you want. She's a very low IQ individual. She's dumb as a rock, and you can't have that. You can't have that. We love our country too much. You can't have it. We just went through 4 years of it. You can't have any more. A country can only take so much. When Biden got up with the red background, the pink background, and he looked like the devil, he looked so stupid, right? And he said, "We will stop MAGA. MAGA, we're going to..." I said, "Listen, you stupid bastard. MAGA means," because I think if you asked him what does it mean, he doesn't know. MAGA means make America great again. That's what MAGA means. So, for the first time, I never said it to anybody, I never really thought about it that much, but all of a sudden, it was down to like maybe 10 or 8 or 9 days, a few days ago, right? I said, you know, in 10 days, this will never happen again, because I'm not running again.
On the other side of the divide, Jennifer Lopez proudly invoked her Puerto Rican heritage and told a crowd of Kamala Harris supporters in Las Vegas that they should embrace their emotions when voting. The singer and entertainer, drawing on her own experiences and cultural heritage, called on voters to act with their ballot, telling them that the powerful people in the US love it when you do nothing. Jennifer Lopez also encouraged the audience to be scared and be outraged, and said she liked Hollywood endings when the good girl wins. Mexican rock band Mana, of course, performed ahead of Harris and also endorsed the vice president. But listen in to what Jennifer Lopez had to say.
You know what? We should be emotional. We should be upset. We should be scared and outraged. We should. Our pain matters. We matter. You matter. Your voice and your vote matters. And look, don't be afraid to make people around you uncomfortable. Invite people around you to be the change, to go out there and vote. Nobody likes having tough conversations or talking about politics, but trust me, I've been in some of these rooms. I see the way power works in this country. They love it when you do nothing.
So, Nevada, to make your right heard and to protect your right to make your own health care decisions, I would also recommend you vote yes on question 6. And make sure you vote up and down the ballot to truly protect your rights. And when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedom nationwide, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law.
Now, focusing back on Donald Trump, former U.S. President, Republican presidential candidate, has said that the United States' great partnership with India and my good friend Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be strengthened under his administration. In a post on X, the social media platform, Trump also extended his greetings on Diwali. He said, and I quote, "Happy Diwali to all. I hope the festival of lights leads to the victory of good over evil," is what he said on that online post. In the same post, the former president condemned the violence against Hindus and other minorities in Bangladesh as well. Trump accused Vice President Kamala Harris and President Joe Biden of ignoring Hindus across the world and in America. He also vowed to make, quote-unquote, America strong again and bring back peace through strength. Donald Trump's recent statement, not just extending those greetings on the auspicious occasion of Diwali, but also addressing the minorities being persecuted in Bangladesh, of course, opening up that canon, speaking about Hindus worldwide as well. Taking aim, of course, at the Democratic campaign of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Now, U.S. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, they led Americans in celebrating Diwali as temples and many iconic places across the country were decorated in lights. This Diwali, may we show the power in the gathering of light, the light of knowledge, of unity, of truth, the light for freedom, for democracy, for an America where anything is possible, said Joe Biden in a post on X, greeting everybody on the auspicious occasion of Diwali. Tonight, we join more than 1 billion people across America and around the world, lighting diyas and celebrating the fight for good over evil, knowledge over ignorance and light over darkness, is what Vice President Kamala Harris said on a post on X from her specific campaign trail, and a video that has been put out as well, where you see the entire White House, Kamala Harris also bursting crackers and were making merry with the stuff. But hey, with presidential elections just days ahead and race between the candidates being razor thin, bars and restaurants in Washington, D.C., they're preparing for watch parties on the vote night with a variety of bar specials. Take a look at this. With the District of Columbia heavily favoring Kamala Harris, there is little surprise many of the drinks are celebrating the Democratic candidate, including a special variation on a classic daiquiri, which will be offered on the November 5th menu at Boundary Stone, a particular bar. It's fun. It's a fun way to take the edge off, certainly on a night when a lot of people will be on it, is what many people are now saying. Now, the second special cocktail was originally added to the menu during the presidential candidates' debates when Kamala Harris faced Republican candidate Donald Trump, and is being called the palate cleanser for a reason. Now, take a look at this. This is what a bar owner says. If he said something you didn't like and it left a bad taste in your mouth, you could have a palate cleanser. It's also orange, so just having some fun, is what McDonough, a bar owner in Washington, D.C. had to say. On election night, though, the palate cleanser is meant to be drunk when a state is called Republican. At Shaw's Tavern, another one of those bars in Washington, D.C., a Kamala Harris-themed drink with a shot of blue Curacao liqueur to make it blue has been on the menu for months now and proved to be a popular choice among some bar goers as well. Listen in to what these bar owners have had to say now.
We do have a Donald Trump drink. It's the palate cleanser. And it was born out of the debate. If he said something you didn't like and it left a bad taste in your mouth, you could have a palate cleanser. It's also orange. So just having some fun.
Why these ingredients? Well, coconut, Kamala is very well known for loving the coconut, right? Vodka. It's got to be blue because, again, So the Democratic Party, right? So we had to do a little bit of blue to give it a nice little color. And I don't know, we just came up with this drink. We were tasting a little bit of this, a little bit of that. OJ didn't work out. When we did pineapple juice, it kind of like set everything together, and it worked out, and people are loving it.
Oh, I tried it. The drink is so good. The drink is so good, and it's great to be at a bar really close to Howard, where she went to school at, and it's be a great day of just celebrating our election process, but also celebrating with a coconut drink. I wasn't a fan of coconut flavored anything for years, and now that she's the nominee, I have to support it, and maybe this will just grow me to like coconut flavors a lot better. See, I lived in Virginia, now I just moved to DC proper.
All right, so DC bars are gearing up for the election night watch parties. But Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris, she's warned supporters at a Phoenix rally of Republican candidate Donald Trump and his allies that they would scale back various healthcare projects as well. We'll tell you all about it. For now, a quick short break. Don't go anywhere.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
Hello.
If your money is fraudulently taken by somebody or if a cyber scam takes place with you,
क्या हम कृष्णा दास गुप्ता जी से बात कर रहे हैं?
and you report it to the bank within 3 days of the crime, the bank is liable to pay you 100%. This is clear-cut guidelines.
मैं डिपार्टमेंट से बात कर रहा हूँ.
If you report it within 7 days, the bank is liable to pay you 50%. And if you report it in 21 days, I think 25% or something.
और हमने ये देखा है कि आपके आधार कार्ड से एक सिम रजिस्टर्ड हुआ है यहाँ.
If the person gives information within the span of 3 to 4 hours, 100% recovery can be done.